So finally, after months and months of development, we are here, and I can show the new structure to all of you. It took a long time to develop this. I spent sleepless nights for months, but as you can see, it has a ton of new features, a completely new structure, and I also wanted to tell you that the group for this EA was very useful and important, because I could really look at the things that you actually want in the EA, and it is just very useful for a developer. So as you can see, it's completely different. Now we are going to go with this kind of structure that I am going to tell you all about and explain all the parameters so you can get used to it. Let's just start, because we have some parameters, some new ones, some old ones, and a completely new way of not just trading, but handling money management and everything. And so I also put a huge weight on understandability, user friendliness, because I know that I am mostly a backend developer, so many times the naming and like ordering of the inputs is a little bit, it can be a little bit tricky to understand. So in this new part of my whole EA development business and everything, I really put weight on the user friendliness. So first of all, of course, I am using the groups, so you can really, it is just much easier to use, and it is something that I wanted to do a long time, but I didn't have any time. So now I put in the work, and everything is working by groups. So first of all, of course, we have the basic settings, which consist the magic number. I also tried to write understandable names for the parameters, and let me know, and the group we are going to also talk it through. So the second is the custom trade comment, and I tried to also make the set files be understandable, like with the versions and the time frames and the specific currency, which is very important, so you can track your trades, which version of the set files did which trade exactly, which is like, it's very important, you know. Then we have the maximum allowed spread in pips, which is has also a on-off button that you can use, and I recommend to use it if you want, if you are trading with at brokers with high spreads, and it is just a customizable parameter, which is important. So the next feature is something that I am using for a while and is working very well, and it is the allow entry only once per bar. It means that when you put the EA on a chart, for example, if you set it to the current chart, then it is going to only take trades, specifically one trade, open one trade on that chart. So it can close the previous trades, but it can only open one additional trade on that specific bar candle. Now it is on the current one, but you can use any, and it is very, very useful. So I am going to go through all the parameters and inputs, because this is a full manual video as well, which is very useful. And I know in the past I was not doing a great job with these, but now I progressed a lot, and I want people to understand my EAs. So How to calculate position size? It is very intuitive. Under the position size and risk, you can use the fixed lot size, or you can use the risk percent of account, whichever you want. You can use the fixed lot size here in the fixed lot size input, and it is like so understandable now that I don't even have to talk, but I want to talk it through. The percentage for risk method is going to be used when you are using the risk-based account, so now it is 1%. Yeah, you can use the maximum lot size safety limit, which is very important because it prohibits, you know, the EA, the broker, everything to open an oversized trade which can destroy your account. That is not a great not great stuff, so it's very important. It is going to be the maximum lot size the EA can take, basically. So next, I developed this feature for so long, and I think many traders actually waited for this, as I remember, because I was writing down all the different requests and ideas. So it is a consecutive loss protection. If you set it to true, it means that with this parameter, like max consecutive losses, it can take 7 losing trades in a row, or 2 or 3, whatever you want, and then it is going to stop trading for X amount of hours. You can also set it to reset after you know, on a new trading day, of course. You can use it manually as well. The third is stop loss and take profit. Of course, it is it could be you know, it is the most simple one, but I added something that also many traders asked for. So that is an ATR based stop loss calculation, stop loss TP calculation. And actually I was thinking about it, and I was not really satisfied with the, you know, the basic one, and therefore I added the minimum stop loss and minimum take profit and maximums as well. So for example, if you set an ATR multiplier to 2, 3, 4, 10, whatever, your EA can't take a too large or too small take profit and stop loss. So this is a huge improvement above all the ATR based stop loss and take profit based robots, because minimums and maximums that you can actually set for yourself in this scenario is insanely important. So you can actually know what is going to be your range. Next is break-even protection. The break-even protection is very simple. You just have a break-even based on percentage, which is also very important. You can use whatever you want also at X percent of TP, which is a good way, I think. Also, we have the adaptive TP, which is something that I was using in the previous version as well, and it was a huge success. It is it triggers a take profit moving, like take profit recalculating when the loss hit a certain amount of pips. So for example, if you set it to true, if your trade hit 45% loss, your new take profit is going to be 20 pips. So it is just another like money management kind of dynamic, no, it's a dynamic exit tactic that is used by many like advanced traders, and I haven't really seen it in like retail EAs at all. So this is a feature that I really like, and it is working great, so I included it in this new structure as well. ATR based trading stuff, of course, that you can use with minimum trading distance in pips. You can set the ATR, of course, the period, and it is also based on the take profit, which is always great because it is very intuitive and you understand it, and it is what we need. Yeah, it is pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Also, one moment, I'm just yeah, no, I hope my sound is good still. Something that you all really requested for a long time is a news filter. So you can stop trading X amount of minutes before and after news, which is great. The EA can take trades in that range, and it is for high impact news, which is mostly like that is what's important for prop trading, for retail trading. So yeah, now we have this in the EA. Haha, finally. Okay, so and I am talking fast because I included many new features. Like, as you can see, I was working I was working a lot. So trading sessions, and I also try to include some. Maybe it's too much, but I don't know. I think it's more understandable, especially with a big EA like this. Some emojis, and yeah, so let me know. So you can set true or false the sessions, basically, like Asian session, London session, New York session. It's all true. I am not using the Sydney session currently, but you can use it. So the EA can only trade in those sessions, which is pretty good. You can use custom hours instead of sessions if you want. Here are the custom hours, but I am now not using that. I am using the session based one. You can use like these kind of features, like trade only during session overlaps, which is you can test it, you can play around with it. There are some really good use for many traders. That's why I included it. And if you are interested in more testing with this EA, let me know in the comments, because I'm going to do that as well. But it's going to be a long video, even if I am just explaining and showing the parameters. So you can avoid lunch hours, these kind of stuff, so with low volatility. Yeah, so it is the old kind of like hour-based trading like time filter. And something I also included in a better way, I think, than before, is you can tell the EA and which months it is going to trade. So now we are trading all the months, the 12 months, but you can you can just delete, for example, October, and then it is not going to trade October. This is what you should do. This way it is not trading in October. It's very simple. But now you just put it back and it is trading October. I think it is very intuitive. Let me know in the comments. Friday close is something that many traders are using. You can use it. It's pretty intuitive what it is doing. It is closing trades on Friday at a certain hour and minute. You can use the partial close system, which was also a highly requested system, and I am very happy to include it. As you can see, I was putting everything I could into this new structure, and I'm going to put more, so it is going to be a highly professional EA. It is already one, but I don't want to be, so you can use a partial close if you it is very useful, actually. You can test it around. Yeah, it can be very useful. And you can use the close at partial at X pips profit, or at close at X% of position. Close, sorry, I am talking too fast. So close X% of position at X or epsilon pips of profit. So at, for example, 50 pips profit, we are closing 50% of the trades, or of the trade. So for example, if you have one lot, it is going to close 0.5 lot at 50% profit. And you can also use this feature. I would use it if I were you. So it is also like a pretty advanced feature that not many traders are using in retail EAs. But it is what it's doing is, after you closed the trade with like partially, it can move your SL to a break even. Now what I'm going to also include in the next update is that it can also move your SL to a different kind of take profit, not just break even, which is going to be even more advanced. So you can expect that. Here after this we have a bunch of new features for dynamic exits, based on RSI, based on MACD for volatility, volume, this kind of stuff. You can use a time-based exit as well after X amount of hours. If it's not in profit, it's going to close the trades, because the system is like saying, yeah, it doesn't worth to hold this trade anymore, so let's just close it. Maybe in the future I'm going to give some more range to it, so in a range from let's say from minus 50 pips to minus 20 pips, it is going to close the trade if it's not in profit, of course. So, and out of that range it is not going to close it. So it's all like mathematics, logic basically. So maybe I'm going to add that as well. Let me know in the comments if you are interested in more detailed explanation of all the parameters. I think they are pretty intuitive, so that is why I want to go through all of them. I'm going to also write a manual, and if you are interested in the new features in the next update, let me know, because I want to work if it's worth it. Yeah, here is the very insanely complex price action pattern. Here are our additional confirmation indicators like ADX, RSI, 2 pairs of EMAs. I am using one for short-term, one for long-term confirmation. You can use the awesome oscillator, you can use the CCI, and some journaling. So this is basically the EA. I hope you see how much work I put into it. It's literally crazy. Now let's do some testing finally. Also, what I wanted to tell you, insanely important, one of the most important things in modern trading, based on statistics and research, but at the meantime I am starting the test. So based on research and statistics, what we can really what we should really understand, you should understand, is that there are certain periods for certain time frames, and also certain assets, certain styles, that you should test your EA for. For example, and this is what many traders are doing bad in these markets, and I fell into this also, because when I started I was always like, yeah, 20 years testing is for me is something that I want to do. It is the basic. I am not going to make an EA without 20 years of testing. Now the issue is, based on research from big hedge funds and statistics, the situation really changed. Now if you, for example, are using a 1 hour time frame on Euro USD and you are testing for 20 years, you are shooting yourself in the leg. And I had to understand this also, because I was really a huge advocate of long-term testing. But the situation is that the markets changed so much that it doesn't make any sense now. And I actually ran insane amount of testings. And most of the time, comparing set files that are tested for 20 years and that are tested for 5 years, which is the 5 years is actually the optimal, the golden rule for 1 hour time frame on Euro USD. If you are testing for 5 years, it is always going to be better on live accounts than a 20-year one. It is because on the 20-year one, you are going to adopt your EA to patterns as well that are going to be lagging, that are going to be different, and they are going to consume much more noise. and it is because the market changed so insanely in the last years that it doesn't really make sense anymore to test for it 20 years ago what happened. And like, there was barely a you know, I guess not true, but computer trading was so different, so like the volume of trading, the trillions of dollars that are now in retail trading, and AI systems, like so many things that changed, that it just doesn't make sense. And I am going to actually make a video about all the pairs and all the time frames, what should be the optimal testing period, because each of them have different one, and each of them is so important. The gold has a very different one, for example, and out of those ranges, really testing is really unnecessary, and it can actually harm your live results, which is not good. So if you want me to make a video about that, let me know. I am going to make a video, but about it anyway, but I like the positive feedback as well. So as you can see, we did the testing. I hope you understood this period like range part for the testings, because it is very important, and I know that it is hard to grasp at first. I can't really explain it in more detail now, because it is already a hour video or something like that. So yeah, we did the testing. This for 5 years. To grasp all the recent, like as you can see, all the recent patterns, like here, that it should be pretty stable, and some of the patterns that happened like during like COVID, all this kind of stuff, the war between Russia and Ukraine. So all the patterns, and if it's kind of stable on these markets with one settings, that is great. But before that, it just doesn't make sense, and it would make like one simple thing, and it is based on statistics and studies. It would take lagging trades that are not valid, with not valid setups, with setups that are very ancient. And now I try to really focus on what's happening and not what's happened. Because we are heading towards something that is just so insane that I don't know, it like the old world is not going to come back. So I want to actually show you how, because now we used 0.01 lot, fantastic. I want to show you how it is working with risk based. So let's do 3% and 1 lot. Why not, And now I'm going to test with 1 minute OHRC. It is giving the same exact results, but it takes a lot of time to test with every tick, and I don't want to waste time. I coded the A8 to have almost exactly the same results on 1 minute OHRC as on every tick, so you can test it, optimize it much easier. Okay, let's see. Some more realistic numbers, for $10,000. So we have around 250% profit, and we have just around 7% drawdown. We have a 2.2 profit factor. And what my intention was to have a pretty good win rate, but a risk to reward ratio that is not terrible, because in the past I was really thinking about it. What I'm seeing in most EAs, and I was doing some of this as well, is that you have a pretty good win rate, but you have like 2 to 1 and 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio, and that the issue is that with those kind of statistics, I can't really explain it in much detail, but it's actually pretty easy. If you have 10 trades and you are losing 2, basically the issue is that those 2 trades are going to consist more loss than the absolute loss than all the profit, all the 8 trades of profit from the 10 trades. So it doesn't make sense. But this way, if you have a win rate like this, you have an edge over the market clearly. So that is what I aim for. Now I also have to tell you, and this is something that I am always telling you, I am not promising results. I never promise results. I can't, because I am, I like mathematics, probability theory, and it is a probabilistic game. It is risky. So I can't promise any result. I am doing my best to stay on top of the market, to code day and night, to test, to use the latest, as you can see, all the latest tools and everything. But I can't promise any results. This is what it is. So I am doing what I can, but this is not like a holy grail stuff. There is no holy grail stuff, actually. That is not possible based on mathematics, and we believe in mathematics here. So what we can do is try to code something that has an edge with the best practices, tools, adjustability. That is what we can do. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are interested in more testing, I can do that. I am providing set files, multiple set files actually, for NZD USD, for gold, for USD, Canadian dollar, for a bunch of other. And I also I am going to show you something. At this point, it is an experimental set package. For every currency I am providing a 50-minute time frame set file, and it is completely in an experimental phase now. But if it's going to go great, which is it has a good possibility in these kind of markets, then I'm going to also add lower time frame ones as well, with the same kind of advantages and edges, and with not a huge disadvantage in the risk reward part. For the 50-minute time frame, the maximum testing is around 3 or 4 years. So I am testing for that period, and let's start. Yeah, I think previously I said 5 years, but it was actually 6 years that I wanted to tell you about the Euro USD optimal 1 hour time frame testing. Okay, so wow, it's good. I am quite surprised actually. What about also just use a risk based one, around 2% with one lot. Let's see how different is it. Let's see. I'm going to run the every tick for you as well, because otherwise, so I want to be as transparent as humanly possible. Okay, so pretty good, and many more trades, which is great, and we are going to see how it is working out. But I'm going to I want to show you that it is kind of very similar. And I am doing the 1 minute OHRC testing not to show different results, but to actually be quicker, because this is the reason after all why I was developing this EA this way. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you see how much work I put into this system. And this is just the beginning of this new structure. Let's see how the new set files are going to do, how this new structure is going to do in the live markets for a couple of months. I'm going to wait for all the response feedback in the group, and I'm going to and I'm taking it seriously. I said it from the beginning. I want to make this one of the best traders in the market. So I'm going to listen to all the requests, ideas, and I think there are going to be some great ones, so I am going to implement the best ones in each update with my my own researches and everything. Yeah, it's pretty good with everything. So as you can see, it is always having an edge on the like it is not the primary time frame because that is the 1 hour, but I think it's pretty good. Like maybe now it's even better in these markets than the 1 hour, because we have to be quick with in and outs of the market, because it is just ranging and we can't do really any like long-term trend trading. So this is why I included these ones. It's very good. I really like this kind of pattern, even in the worst period, which is this. Like this is it was insane in the markets. So many gold days were failing. Even here it has some profit, which is good. So and overall it has profit. So let's see how it's going to do the markets. I hope you enjoyed this video. Ciao.